Hello, everybody. Welcome to Happily Married Mondays with the Jolleys. I'm Dr. Willie Jolly.
And this is Dee Taylor-Jolley. Good evening.
How are y'all doing? Happy Memorial Day to Lottie, Dottie, and everybody. Everybody who's joining us, I want to thank you for joining us, and happy Memorial Day. Hope you've had a great day thus far. We want to put a cherry on top of your great day, and hopefully it's been a great week, and we hope to have a great week upcoming. So,
and that your Memorial weekend has been great, but distancing, right?
We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
So welcome to all those who are joining. We ask every week that people do a couple of things. If you would hit your start a watch party right there on your page, and hit start a watch party so we get more people to join us. Hit lots of love and lots of hearts and so forth. So the computer, what they call them, spiders, the computer programming will be able to say, oh, there's something hot going over there at Happily Married Monday with the Jolleys. Let's put that on blast, and we get more people to come and join us. So we want to get more and more people. For those who are just joining us or might be newbies, we are the Jolleys. We're authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. And so we're glad to be able to have that in audiobook now as well. So we're going to talk about
we're thriving inside.
Thriving inside.
We've gone from being cooped up because we want to have a more positive spin.
Oh boy, does she got a story for y'all. Okay, now first of all,
we're thriving inside, but there are 2 points we want to make.
Let's talk about her hair first. Okay, let's have a conversation. Let's deal with the elephant in the room. Every week,
2 points.
Every week, her hair is different. Today, it's kind of like a blue. Look in there. It's almost the color of my shirt. That's how, I don't know what I'm going to see. When she comes into the room, I don't know what the...
A little steel gray and a little blue spread.
See, I never know what's going to come. Every week it's different. Some of the ladies always talk about that. Well, we're glad you're here. I got to give one shout out to Janice Coleman, who blew us up on LinkedIn and talked about my book, A Setback Setup for a Comeback, and as well as Dee and our marriage. And I told her I would shout out her, give her a shout out.
Thank you.
Janice Coleman. Thank you so much. Wesley, we got David Robinson, Dawood Sanders, Donna Schultz Robinson.
Why don't you tell them right now?
Reggie Glenn. Reggie Glenn is in the house.
Reggie, before we get what you're going to do different.
Oh, we're going to, I'll wait till I get it all together.
You have a surprise.
Yeah. I'll wait till I get that together before I tell you all the new developments and technology.
Well, at least one.
We're going to try and come up with.
So there are 2 things today. Right. Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Okay, so Memorial Day. So we watched the Memorial Celebration concert on yesterday. Well, you watched it there, and I watched it in the bedroom while I was doing 100 other things. But the thing that struck me was not the singing and the like so much as the history.
Yes.
And then it made me think about, so we're talking about Memorial Day, which celebrated 75 years of the ending of World War II. And we are honoring today, officially, all those who sacrificed their lives from World War II to the Korean War to Vietnam to all of the wars where people have lost their lives, even 9/11 and the like. But World War II, guess what? My daddy, oh, did you see that? My daddy was in the Navy, and I found his picture. And so for me, the memorial celebration was really very somber because my dad, I would ask questions and he would seldom ever give me a real answer as to what it was like to be a cook in the Navy and out on those huge destroyers for months at a time, except that it was not
pleasant.
a pleasant,
not a very pleasant experience.
Yes.
Between fighting the enemy and fighting racism at the same time. It's a he didn't want to talk about it. He wouldn't talk about it. And her father was a pretty easygoing man, and
but he was very quiet.
Very quiet. But you know, he would talk about certain subjects, and but that was not something he talked about.
So I'm so appreciative for Memorial Day, where we take time to stop and to remember those who gave their lives. And how many of you had a dad? I was a dad, had a brother, a cousin, or someone who was also in World War II. And did you, World War II or the Korean War or any of the wars, and that you celebrated in their honor today?
Amen.
You can let me know. Put that in the chat.
And DeWatt Sanders says he's handsome and looks like you look like him.
Oh, thank you.
Good evening, Bishop Barry, and we're glad people are joining. Remember to hit that share, that watch party, start a watch party, so we can join more people.
Now
today.
you tell them the second piece that you.
All right, so what we want to talk about first,
Day.
we spoke about Memorial Day. Many of you may be on my newsletter list. And if you're on my newsletter list, you're probably accessing the know that I've got my weekly newsletter that goes out. Where I talked about it this week on my newsletter. And then if you're in markets where the Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell show airs, this morning on my Wake Up and Win with Dr. Willie Jolly segment, I shared this same message, that Memorial Day we celebrate for those who were killed in war. But it started right after the Civil War, and it was initially started, according to Professor David Blight from Yale University, who did research on Memorial Day. We've known it for many years as Memorial Day, but before that it was called Decoration Day. Now, Decoration Day started right after Civil War, and it started outside of Charleston, South Carolina, where freed slaves went to decorate the graves of those Union soldiers who came into the Deep South to set them free. And many of them were to save the slaves, to set the slaves free. To save the free, and many of those soldiers were ex-slaves, one, and two, that these freed slaves wanted to celebrate those people who had set them free, so that they could have a better future, and that children could have a better future, and that they could live the American dream. So that was one of the, if it's not the first, it was definitely one of the first. He said it's probably the first. He was doing the research and sharing it, but Professor Blight was saying that this was a profound moment, and after that, people started decorating the graves of soldiers who they wanted to commemorate and memorialize for their sacrifice. The greatest sacrifice anyone can give is to give up your life for your friends. Yes. So we want to take that message, that lesson, that history perspective as we celebrate Memorial Day, first to memorialize all of you who have had family members who have served in the war, who've gone on to be with the Lord. And I also always want to celebrate our soldiers, our veterans, our people who serve in armed forces, even today, whether they are retired or in active duty. So God bless you.
And we don't want to forget the Gold Star family.
Oh, we definitely want to.
The Gold Star families are those who've lost their loved ones, who gave up their lives.
Yeah, the Gold Star family, absolutely.
Absolutely.
We celebrate and thank you for your sacrifice. Yes. Of giving your loved one.
And so that new history just touches my heart even more.
Yep.
As I think about Memorial Day.
Yep.
Now, so first, we're celebrating Memorial Day, which officially is today. And then second, May, and we're almost at the end of May, but May is Mental Health Month.
Mental health. Speaking of mental health, I got to give a shout out. My man is on here, Dennis S. Brown, What's up, Dennis S. Brown? The only difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude. That's my man, and I have a pre-release here. He got the pre-release today of a new music video we're working on called "It's All About Your Attitude," where I quote him, and you can actually get a copy of his book as well as T-shirts with the only difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude at his website. Wow. This guy is dynamite.
So what's his website?
Dennis Brown, so Dennis, put it in the chat. What's your website? I'll shout it out because he's my man, and he's been on my XM show, and he is one of the great attitude folks. So let's talk about attitude.
Oh, okay. So we got two things: Memorial Day, and Mental Health Month. May is Mental Health Month. Now, how does that kind of tie all together? Because with Memorial Day, that whole memorial experience, you're looking at the losses which you can see, which are actually like the physical losses that people have. Right. Then the mental health says, you know what? We not only have losses that are physical and that you can see, but some of those losses can be even worse because they're mental. So you come back from the war like my daddy did and wouldn't talk about it. Or you come back and you've got limbs lost, like they referred to in the memorial celebration of how the wife actually willed her husband, who became a quadriplegic. She actually willed him to get better so that he could even breathe. It was a powerful story. And the power of your mind, your mental state to will you to keep going when your body simply wants to stop.
You know, and we talk about marriage and the fact we want more people to stay married. We want them to stay happily married, because it's not just married, but happily married. So we want people to be like us. This pandemic, well, I was going to say this pandemic has made our marriage even stronger and better till this morning.
Well, it's different. Well, I don't want to go there yet.
Yeah, okay. You got to hold on to hear about what happened this morning.
No. Let me just finish the background for mental health is so very important. And I think we all have some mental health challenges, which will bring us to what happened this morning. But there was a recent survey, the Census Bureau, which is producing the 2020 census, is also working on and started at the end of April 23rd, a survey where they surveyed 74,000 households, questionnaire online in Spanish and in English, and it asked how people were feeling. And 6 in 10 of the respondents said on a regular basis, several times a week, they felt nervous, they felt anxious, or on the edge, like, I don't know how I'm adjusting to working from home, or I've lost my job, or somebody in my household has lost their job and I'm uneasy about the future. So at least almost half of them are responding and saying that they don't feel that they're in control of their lives. And if you don't feel like you're in control of your life, then that sparks anxiety. And if there is anxiety, then that moves into the realm of mental health issues.
And a lot of families, a lot of married couples, because of the stress that comes from being unable to get out and do their regular, have to work together, be together, there's added stress. It creates some.
Now we're getting that they're saying that we're suffering from anxiety because we've been in so long and we're going stir crazy and have to get out. So that is why, and I think you fall into that category.
Woo, wait till you hear about this morning.
Where you can't stay in any longer. And in some instances, the numbers are going up in terms of coronavirus exposure because people are getting antsy and they're not taking the necessary precautions when they go outside. Now, I am saying that some of us, and I would include myself, I'm like, based upon the definition of anxiety, right?
Right.
The extreme anxiety, that those kinds of, well, I'm uneasy being around other people. you might have flashbacks, you might have nightmares, or you might have severe anxiety. For me, it's severe anxiety in terms of going out. When I'm with you, that part just started. So I'm saying I have PTSD.
She has come to
I have come to the conclusion I have PTSD. Now, what is that?
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Now, that post-traumatic stress disorder doesn't mean that you were in a war, but this is kind of like being in a war, not being able to go out, not being able to meet friends, family, and the like. And then when you are suddenly thrust into a new environment, like I was this morning with you, I was traumatized.
Okay, so let me beat around the bush
So
long enough.
I do have PTSD.
So here's what happened.
And here's why I have PTSD.
So this morning, well, last night she wanted to get some ink pens for her writing and so forth. She has a special
big pen. She has 10 pens for
whatever. She got all of these special pens she got to have. So we went to 2-3 stores, Walmart, so forth, to get pens. It didn't happen. But while she was there, she said she was going to get some other things, a few onion and this and that, because she wanted to create.
The line was way too long.
But the line was way too long. So we said, this is an urgent. We can do it in the morning where we get in early. And so now this is a holiday. Okay, holiday. I wanted to sleep in a little bit on the holiday.
But you said to me,
I said we would go in the morning. We'll go in the morning. Yes.
And my response was, you have to remember, we have to go early because I don't want the people standing on top of me. I want 10 to 12 feet between. Anybody who is like 6 feet is not enough. I need 12 feet.
She is, first of all, my wife's a germaphobe. She is very neat freak.
I'm a neat freak.
And
I love bleach. Anybody love bleach, neat freak, clean all the time?
So here's what happened. So she wakes me up. I said, oh, okay.
You promised.
I promised I'll go. I said, you sure you don't want to go with her? No, you promised. So we go to the Walmart.
And we delayed like 15 minutes because he has to get coffee. He can't function without the coffee. So
I'm
standing at the door waiting for him.
So she's waiting at the door. We get to the Walmart. We do our shopping.
Mask, my gloves, everything.
Gloves.
But we have to go to the larger Walmart because they won't have what he wants at the smaller Walmart, which is like 2 minutes from our house.
So we go to the larger Walmart. And we're standing in line. Now, I'm talking to people as I walk in. Good morning. Good morning.
He has his mask and his gloves on, but he's talking so loud.
Hey!
And I'm focused trying to get in. Here's my short list. Willie goes over here to get an item, and I am like focused. And he's loud.
Good morning.
Saying good morning to everybody.
How y'all doing today?
I don't have a problem with that. I know he says good morning. I just kind of and keep going.
So we're in the line now.
And
these ladies in front of us
have 25 bags of sugar.
And 50 boxes of butter. And 2 big old things of vegetable oil. And 1 big old bag of flour. So I said, what y'all making over there? And the lady said.
So he strikes up a conversation with them.
So I said, what y'all doing? What are you making? Now we're still 6 feet apart, or so. And I said, what are you making over here? They said, we're making custom cakes. Oh, I got something on my face. On my face. Anyway, they said, we're making custom cakes. I said, custom cakes? What's a custom cake? And they said, well, custom cakes. I said, what?
And that was driving me crazy because it's going back for what? A custom cake.
What do you mean by the custom? I mean, is it, what color is what? I mean, what does it taste like? Is it chocolate or vanilla? I'm having dialogue with the folks. Then the lady says, let me show you on my phone what I mean.
And she leans into him. There's no 6 feet between the two of
us.
I
say,
and I'm freaking out on the inside.
I look at the phone. I say, what? That looks good. She had them in different, it's artwork. She had boots and cowboy hats. And
so he leans over to me and said, Dee, this is artwork. I'm like, will you just please stop talking? I cannot take this. You are in her space.
She's having conniption.
You knew I was having conniptions.
Nobody else knew it.
I was having conniptions.
And so I finally let the ladies go, and she said, that's the final straw.
That was the final straw. I am not.
Tell them the final straw. Well, so we finally get all our groceries paid for. We got our cart. We go into the elevator. There's an elevator because the escalator ramp thing is not working. So we go into the elevator.
But we have a cart.
We have a cart. And we get to the elevator, and we go in the elevator, and we're going
down to the basement
to the parking lot. And this lady with another cart starts moving toward the elevator behind us. And what does my wife say?
Stop! One cart. And this was all with the mask on, so I had to be very demonstrative. Oh my God, I just cannot believe it. She was going to enter the elevator with us. That was not 6 feet. That was the last straw.
That was the last straw. She said, I can't do this with you anymore. I don't talk to people. So this is what you've got is.
So I have PTSD. I have extreme anxiety about people breathing on me, about people being within 10 feet of me. Okay? And when you watch the simulations about how the virus spreads, people who are asymptomatic can spread. And then so it comes down to, do I want to do this or do I want to die? That's what it comes down to. So that's how I see it.
So what you've got is an extrovert,
very
different people. We're I'm an extrovert. I want to talk to people. I want to be around people.
Have concluded
hey, by the way, I can't come to do our seminars now, so y'all got to buy these books online. I'm just telling y'all, when we do our seminar, people buy the books like crazy. Well, we're not doing the seminar, we're in the house. So y'all can go to jollymarriage.com, buy 2 books if you're in a married couple. If you're in a married couple, you don't have 2 copies of this book, then you're not taking full advantage of learning the wisdom that not just from us, from the people we interviewed who've been married 50, 60, 70 years.
So one piece of wisdom that I have to work on constantly is that communication, and how to communicate in such a fashion that he gets it, even though he doesn't want to cooperate.
I don't always want to cooperate.
So now that I get, he has been in here so long, and his basic nature is I talk to everybody in the world. And when he
how do I talk to him? Come on.
Loud. It's too much, even through the mask. It's just too much. So I love being with him, but I said this was the final straw today. So, because he drives me to the store, he does all these things, but I will go very early. I will be there when the door opens. That's only like once a week or ever. So I will be there at the Walmart or the Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. That's where I go. Okay?
You haven't been to Mom's Market since the pandemic, have you?
No, I have not.
Yeah.
No, I love Mom's Market too for all their organic. So certain things at certain stores. But
she's a vegan, by the way. So
I will be there when the doors open, so I can go in, collect, and out. And I won't have him go with me because he tarries too long, and it's emotionally draining. Really, it is emotionally draining. So that is why I say PTSD. Now, PTSD comes in many different ways for people, right?
Yeah. So anyway, let's see what we got here. We've got Carl McIntyre, my good friend. We've been friends since elementary school. Debbie Perkins, she's here. Adita Narayan.
Oh, good morning, wherever she is.
Yeah, good morning. Somebody's from morning, and he said my brother gave me a gift of the book on the birthday. Great. Where you from? The Hales Hill family, Carl McIntyre, Dawad, and then David Robinson, my cousin, is there. Yeah, she was fit to be tied. And Karen Denise Smith is here, and so good. We got folks joining. Remember to hit the share. Hit the. We only got a couple more minutes.
So it's anxiety, and so I'm saying many of us can have PTSD, just like the celebrated physician, the New York physician,
yes,
who worked in the ER,
yes,
with Corona 19 people,
yes,
caught the virus herself,
yes,
recovered, went back, and then got sent home to her family in Virginia, but never recovered and took her life.
So we want people to know that the PTSD is very clear.
It is real.
So my wife is making it clear. So, but that shows how we get together and we get along with each other. Even when she has stress moments, we work through it. So we had two different personalities. That's what one of the
and we work through it very differently.
Yeah, but I want to make sure my friend Alway and T-Way, which we're going to have to interview them because they talk about DISC, which is the personality traits of your mate. And what kind of person are they? Extrovert, introvert? Are they high A, as they say, or high D, or high emotional? What are your high A
is amiable. High D is
a driver.
Okay.
So whatever it is, they're hardwired like that. So you can holler, you can scream, you can fuss.
So the only thing you can change is yourself.
That's right.
So here is from
mental health. She want to get on mental health.
I want to go back to this mental health thing. The National Alliance of Mental Illness, NAMI, suggests when you're like, I'm freaking out, did you ask yourself 4 questions? And it's called HALT, HALT. So you ask yourself, which I had to think about because I was too upset initially after the lady with the elevator. But anyway, are you hungry? H is for hungry.
Uh-huh.
Am I angry? I can't say I was angry. I was just at a loss for words. I was upset. So are you hungry? A, are you angry? L, are you lonely? No, I'm not lonely. I have him 24/7. Or T, are you tired? HALT for halt. So you kind of, you have to grab hold of yourself and ask yourself, what is going on with you? And it's like, oh, if you're hungry, you know what to do. If you're tired, you can lay there. But if HALT doesn't work for you, then you should not be ashamed to say, I think I need some help. I need to make some phone calls somewhere. So, disaster, distress hotline. There's 800-985-5990. If you are distressed, have some challenges, you need somebody to talk to, it's 800-985-5990. And then also the domestic hotline.
The domestic violence hotline.
Domestic violence
because we've seen
up.
An increase in domestic violence because people are put together. We love and respect each other, and
I like being with him.
We have a great time together. I've never raised my voice to her. She doesn't raise her voice. We just groove on because we found some systems that are things we put in the book that even if things bother us, we'll work through them because we got systems.
And then we end up laughing because he's so ridiculous. The domestic violence hotline.
We don't want you to
799-7233.
Say it again.
800-799-7233. And the professionals are saying the violence is up, but the calls are down because the abuser is often in the same space. So maybe you can be of help if you anticipate that someone is being abused by calling the domestic hotline or by calling.
We got a great question here. Not to get off the subject, but the store story is too familiar. He got that. My question: how do you deal with such different personalities? We have those differences, but it's driving a wedge. Here's what when we talk about in the book. Here's it: is that we have such different personalities, but I know that's how she's hardwired. First, she knows how I'm hardwired. I'm a people person. No matter what she fusses at, I will always talk to people. I want to hug them. I have at least made a commitment I won't hug them. But here, what we talk about in the book is that you must understand how your mate is hardwired, 1, and 2, that you are communicating that your fears, your hurts, and how it made you feel. When she said it made me uncomfortable. All right, I backed off. I'll say I won't talk to everybody.
So this is how this is making me feel, and I'm getting anxious.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm getting PTSD because of what you're doing over there.
Yes. So we are encouraged. Thank you, Dewad, for that question.
Yeah,
and Ricky, Harjan said, great buy. He'll buy 2 copies. I really recommend 2 copies. You write in the margins, each person, as you go through it at the end of each chapter, say, what did you learn about me? What did you learn about me? Learn from each other every day, because, look, we're still learning from each other. We're 35 years in a couple
I didn't know I had PTSD.
Baby, I don't think you have PTSD. I don't think you have. Your hardwired personality of your
but I was just being traumatized by you
baby.
talking to everybody.
I know, baby. I know. So we'll work through it, okay?
I'm gonna get up early and go to the store without you. That's what I'm gonna do.
Look, our time is way over. We're way over time. We had to answer these questions though. If you got domestic issues, domestic violence issues, please respond to that. If you have mental health issues,
we can respond to them.
yeah, we'll respond.
Yes.
To what? We'll respond off what. And one other thing, folks. Here's what, and David said, I unapologetically chose to be extra cautious. I agree with that. Here's one thing I want to say. If you are feeling depressed.
Wow, comes every day. It's the new, domestic violence cases coming every day.
It's real.
So if you anticipate that somebody else is going through that,
help them.
Please
help them. We want to help people.
Them.
Yeah, we want to help people through both the mental health issues that impact marriage and the domestic violence. We want to help that, and we want
and many don't know how to communicate. So one of those sessions, like Pastor talked about, what the SBI, how to talk. Like I told you, you are doing
now that
this.
you said it, what SBI means: situation, behavior, impact.
And the impact.
Rather than saying you always do this or you always do that, don't do that.
So I said, Willie
is
talking to everybody really loud through the mask.
So this is a specific situation. Here is the specific situation, S. The B. Here was your behavior.
You waving, talking loud to everybody.
Everybody, the lady.
The impact on me.
And the impact made me feel
my heart is racing faster, and I'm upset.
I'm over there talking.
The germs are coming towards me because
even though they have on masks, I have on masks. Even though we're still some spacing, she was uncomfortable.
I was feeling like I was coming.
So I said, I back up. I go back to my little cart and let them do their thing. All right. So we're saying, everybody, work with your mate. Understand that SBI is situation. Don't say you always do. No. This situation. This is the behavior. This is how it made me feel.
And then I have to remind myself that I love this guy.
Thank God. I thank God for that. Look,
and I appreciate him.
And I love you.
That's what we have to remember.
Look, we gotta go. We way over time.
We over time.
But we hope you enjoyed it. We're gonna be doing more and more Happily Married Monday. We got some real good
some how-tos.
Yeah. And send your questions. Please send us your questions, folks. You can email us to info@williejolly.com, info@williejolly.com, and just say, hey, I'm dealing with this or that, so we can address them.
Respond to him right after
we'll talk to you later. All right. Thank y'all. Let's see that, everybody. Again, my man, Dennis S. Brown. Just look him up, Dennis S. Brown. Google him and get his book and his T-shirt.
The difference
between a good day and a bad day is your attitude. Ooh, that's a great quote. Great quote. That sits up there with a setback is a setup for a comeback. Oh, where did that come from? Willie Jolly.
Nice.
Hey, we'll see y'all. Jolly out.
Jolly out.
God bless y'all.